Australian. Maybe we can make it a real thing somewhere in the future.
An NBL legend says Bryce Cotton is so good he should be part of the Boomers' starting 5 at the Tokyo Olympics.
That's why he needs to beat Boomer Bryce. That's why he needs to go to Tokyo.
So nothing's ever happened of that?
Considering I heard how close it was last year, I would have thought by now something would have shook, but nah, same old same.
It's one of Australia's leading immigration lawyers has criticised the federal government for the failure to make Bryce Cotton Australian. For Bryce's sake.
Oh, welcome back to the Saturday Switch. You may notice there's a bit of distance because we like to get a bit up and about when Andrew goes in the studio. I was half expecting a police detective interview at the end of that one. Such was the sombre mood.
It was CSI, wasn't it? A real deep dive investigation, but would have been great to see him in a green and gold jersey. I was a big advocate for it. For whatever reason, whether it's Basketball Australia, whether it was Bryce and a couple of mishaps that might have happened along the way, it's just sad. It's sad for Australian basketball that we don't get to see him represent Australia, because I think not only what he does on the floor, but the values that he holds is very in tune to what I think the culture of Australian basketball is all about. But that's not to be, it won't be, and unfortunately we don't get to see it.
Sometimes you've got to look at perspective. Let's just be happy that he's got a Wildcats jersey on, because it
true.
very well could be an NBA jersey,
That's
the way
true.
that he's played over the last couple of years. But I want to go to a presser grab here from Bryce Cotton, because he always gives us a little bit of an insight into his form, and I thought this was interesting.
I don't believe in coincidences, so I can't give away my secrets. Once I'm done playing, I'll give it away, but I've done enough talking. Did I notice something? Yes, I noticed something with my shooting and had a minor tweak to it, yeah.
Guys, you're a man that I assume went through a form slump, albeit very, very briefly.
Everyone goes through a shooting slump at some stage when you have a career, and a lot of it can do with the defence and how you've got to make some adjustments. But spoke to Bryce during the week, and he mentioned that the focus, the adjustment that he made was just extending and holding his follow-through a little longer. And sometimes that can be it. And look at that. There was no follow-through there. There was a twirl as if to say, I know this is going in. That was Steph Curry-like. But those little things, and Felix, you've been around the game long enough and shot enough balls to know that sometimes the mere fact you just focus on one thing can be a distraction, and the natural action kicks in.
I love the fact that Bryce said he wasn't going to tell anyone what happened, but he told you in confidence, and you've just told the entire world that he's holding the follow-through now.
It was on the radio. He was on the... He interviewed him on the radio.
You get an off-card there. Derek Rucker caught up with him a bit earlier.
All right, Bryce, quick turnaround after Thursday's night victory against Cairns. How's the body feeling? What's the mood in the group?
I mean, we're feeling pretty good. It's a lot different than the first few weeks of the season. Body's feeling all right. We got this FIBA break coming up, so we can give it everything we got, and then we can rest up.
I'm sure you heard the whispers when you guys weren't doing too well. How did you handle that, and what was your plan in terms of proving everyone wrong?
I mean, just understanding who we are as a team, understanding who I am as a player, and just sticking to what we do. You know, sometimes you don't get the results that you want, but you stick with the process that you do that's allowed you to build the reputation you have. And we stay true to that, and now things are slowly starting to turn around.
I said that you're one of the most intelligent players in the league. Was that accurate with my description in that you were going back and taking information and went back to the lab and got to work?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely looked at some old things, and I found basically the biggest thing that was causing a hitch in just my style of play and me being able to be consistent like I normally am. And yeah, I'm sticking to what I found.
Okay, well, you got a good matchup tonight. Your old running mate, Mitch Norton, he's out there smiling at us right now. How do you plan on attacking Mitch, who's playing very good basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be another dogfight. Mitch knows all my moves. I know all his moves, so it's going to be fun, though, and I always love battling against him, man.
All right, Bryce, thanks for your time, and I'll play well tonight.
Appreciate it.
Well, if the game's so far anything to go by, there's one certainty here, and that's Bryce Cotton's going to light it up. But let's work around that, Andrew Gaze. The Brisbane Bullets, what do they need to do to win?
Well, I think it's a very cliche, but it's what goes on the defensive end. That man on your screen, Nathan Sovey, he's been very good on the offensive end, and I think if they can find a way to stop Bryce, they're in good shape.
Your thoughts on the Wildcats?
Gone through a tough stretch, but have been able to work their way through it. And no coincidence. He doesn't believe in it, but I believe in it. When Bryce Cotton plays well, they're a lot harder to beat.
Closing argument, sir. Who wins?
I think the Perth Wildcats win this one.
Perth Wildcats win. Next game coming right up. And, of course, special guest DJ Vasiljevic in the commentary.
It is a massive night in Perth for the Wildcats and the Bullets, but it's as close to a must-win as you'll get at this point of the season.
And on due a dunk over Alex Saar.
They need a bucket going into three-quarter time, and Cotton delivers. Here's Pinder. Hey, here is Saar going straight to work, leaning in and the foul. Harrison with a monstrous dunk. It's a big win for Brisbane in Perth.
It's been some sort of fortnight for the Perth Wildcats. They've won 4 games in a row in a season that was teetering. All of a sudden looks well and truly back on track. Meanwhile, for the Brisbane Bullets, been a resurgence under new coach Justin Schuller. In the past fortnight, they failed a couple of big tests as well. We've got 2 teams around the play-in mark who cannot afford to be dropping games just before the FIBA break. Great to have your company for Saturday Night Hoops as Perth travel to Brisbane to take on the Bullets at Nissan Arena. There is your Mitsubishi Motors ladder. I'm Jack Heverin alongside the GOAT, Andrew Gaze, and oh boy, have we dragged in a very special guest tonight, Drewy, as well. DJ Vasiljevic, fresh off being the Foot Locker player of the game. Welcome to commentary, DJ.
I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait to watch a great game between Brisbane and Perth.
What are we expecting tonight, gentlemen?
I think Bryce is going to go for 30 again. I think Sobey's going to try to have a big game, but it all comes down to Brisbane's defence and how you stop Bryce.
And they've spoken about that during the week, Drewy, haven't they? How important defence is from a Brisbane point of view.
Well, it's no coincidence when Bryce plays well, they're a lot harder to beat. In fact, when he plays really well, they are virtually unbeatable. And that's what it's been so far this season. He's had those 25-point-plus games. They've got the 4 wins in a row, I should say. And it's going to be another tough one for the Brisbane Bullets tonight.
Well, hopefully this game is half as good as the last one that we just saw between Cairns and Tasmania. Earlier today, Derek Rucker caught up with the coach of the Brisbane Bullets. He's having a very good season, Justin Schuller.
I'm here with Brisbane Bullets head coach Justin Schuller. Justin, a disappointing loss down in Sydney. How's the team responded this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weeks where we know we were 90% great and 10% got to be better, and that's what we're focused on this week is, how do we make sure we maintain where we've been at. We know we've had a good month, but we haven't rewarded ourselves to the level that we want, and tonight presents a great opportunity to go from those learnings and see what we can do.
One could make the case this team could be 7-4. Instead, you're 5-6. How do you stay focused on the present and not dwell on missed opportunities?
I've got a 24-hour rule with my wife, so that helps me. But what we've been really about is constantly moving forward. Like, this program needs to be able to take those lessons and learn from them and then respond and have a direction forward. So we know, this one presents a good opportunity for us, a team that we took care of on their floor. We know they're coming in hungry, and then we get a window of opportunity to continue to get better. And we know when we come out of that, we're playing a lot of teams that sit below us right now. So, we're just trying to be better every single day, and that's our focus.
Thanks for your time, Justin. Good luck this evening.
No worries. Thank you.
The Bullets have had a great season under Justin Schuller. A lot of it has been led by Nathan Sobey, DJ. The MVP conversation right now, as we hit into round 8, it's very real for Sobes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's top 5 scoring. He's kind of led the Brisbane Bullets. But, yeah, I think it's their defence. And, I think Sobey will lead them offensively. It's just how they respond defensively against Bryce.
He's their go-to guy. And I think with Nathan, it's still all about shot selection. Sometimes it can get a little wild out there. And although he's top 5, he's a high-volume guy. 41% from the field, 25% from the three-point line. He's actually better than those numbers, and he's still getting his 20 a game. So he's still got a bit more to give, but playing some outstanding basketball.
On the subject of awards, Tyrell Harrison has to be in the conversation for most improved player, has he not?
100%. As long as he stays healthy, he's right up there. I mean, he's performed well. He's started a few games for him, and he's playing unreal basketball. And it's good to see him healthy and keep playing like he's doing.
Left the game last week with a calf issue. It's one position on the court they are loaded with, Drew. Between Harrison, Baines and Rocco Zikarsky, they're loaded at the big man stocks. From the Perth Wildcats' point of view, well, all of a sudden things are a whole lot rosier for not only John Rillie, but the Red Army as well.
Well, it's fallen in place for them, hasn't it? They picked up a couple of wins there. Melbourne, maybe a little asterisk next to it because of the injury issues, but given the emotions that were going on and the pressure that they were under, I think John Rillie has handled the circumstances extraordinarily well.
We heard from Bryce Cotton in the pre-game in the Saturday switch. Is he back, DJ, is he back in?
He's back. I think Adelaide 36ers needed to take credit because we got him going a couple of games ago. But no, he's back. He's always going to be Bryce Cotton. So I look forward to another great game.
Well, there's the turnaround. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's back to the Bryce Cotton, the MVP Bryce Cotton, the 28.8. Let's round that up to 29 points a game. And similarly, like we talk about with Nathan, he's a better three-point shooter than 32%, and that, of course, has a lot to do with the start of the season that he's had. So he's a star, and the Perth Wildcats play through him a lot, and he plays a lot. 37 and a bit minutes a game. He's on the floor a lot. We look at the starting lineups, and Mitch Norton, Nathan Sobey in the back court, and I reckon Norton, with that daily experience he'd had of guarding Bryce in practice, will hold him in good stead.
He's the Perth Wildcats starting lineup. Things have changed, no doubt, since Hiram Harris has come into this lineup.
Yeah, he's been exceptional. He's given them that offensive little punch, like being able to control stuff, but defensively he's been amazing. They switch a lot of ball screens, and no, he's been great for him.
So 5 and 6 are the Brisbane Bullets. 6 and 5 are the Perth Wildcats headed into tonight. We're underway for Saturday night hoops. Nathan Sobey. Spoke about his game across the season so far. Josh Bannon is not shy.
Which shows the growth in the short time he's been here. I shouldn't say the growth, I should say the confidence that they have in Josh Bannon. First play of the game, and they want to get him going, get him on the box. And he came up short, but the mere fact that they're identifying him, they see something in him.
100%. The rookie's got confidence, and I like it.
Harrison late in the clock. It's a size advantage and scores. Opening bucket of the night for Brisbane.
That'll give him a lot of confidence for the game, especially coming out early last week. So let's just continue rolling like that.
Averaging 10 and 6 across the season. You go back to last season, 5 and 4. So his numbers have almost doubled.
100%, and obviously he's a presence in the paint. You know, he's long, active, and he blocks shots too.
A little surprised to see that Mitch Norton's not starting on Bryce, just given that experience. Now, they've got a very good defender in McDaniel on him, and I guess the extra size would be the thinking of Justin Schuller there as well to try and contest. But just the experience, that the little idiosyncrasies of Bryce that Mitch would clearly be aware of.
5 seasons at the Perth Wildcats, 2 titles while he was there, Mitch Norton.
I think there'll be a bit of a rotation between the two of them. I think Mitch Norton's got a bit of an edge playing against the Wildcats again, and you know how things went down last year. But yeah, you'll see a lot of different players on Bryce, and I try to tire him out.
Keanu Pinder, only 4 points last week. He's the lowest scorer in the best part of 2.5 seasons. Webster denied by Harrison.
There he is, being active, presence right there. So yeah, he's doing a great job, Tyrell.
He uses his length. A lot of big guys, sometimes they might as well be 6'4" with the way they play, but he's used his length really well. Right place, right time.
Defensively, it's only early. Yeah. Brisbane look locked on, and Hiram Harris, well, that's not something we say every day. From deep. Perth are on the board. A little over a minute gone. Nissan Arena, the host venue for Saturday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. McDaniel off target. Bryce Cotton, we highlighted his impact. Things have changed because of that man. He's active again, came up with the ball when he had absolutely no right to win that back.
He's going to give it his all, as he said. There's the FIBA break coming up. They're going to exert all that energy and try to get another win and continue that win streak.
Norton puts the ball on the floor with the left hand, no good. And Christian Doolittle heading back the other way for the Wildcats, who have won 4 in a row.
There's that man again, Tyrell, making an impact defensively. Staying down on the shot fake, sliding his feet, turnover.
Stepped out of bounds.
Come on, Drew. Lock in, Drew. Come on. Come on, Drew.
We play team ball here, DJ. I know you like to jack them up, but how's about you share it around a little bit?
Hey, got to do anything you got to do to get a win. Ain't that right? Come on.
DJ's been here for 2.5 minutes. He's already told you to lock in, Drew.
That's it. I just thought, need a little chop out there because I wasn't sure, but it was, of course, the stepping out of bounds. And my old teammate, Shane Heal, good evening to you as well. One of his pet hates when the GPS system goes a little awry.
No scoring start. Caught off balance. Brisbane 1 of 5 to start the game. Perth not much better at 1 of 4. Pinder over the top of Harrison. And got one in the face.
There's that man, Hiram Harris again. Just staying active on both ends and hits a 3. Or long 2 if you want to say, and then put back layup right there.
Just does a lot of the little things. Hiram Harris, he's been plus 26 in his last 5 games. Sobey wanted a foul.
This is where Bryce gets his opportunities a lot as in transition, as Keanu Pinder tries his arm from the 3-point line, because if you're watching this game, just watch off the ball and what's happening with Bryce. The Brisbane Bullets are basically saying, well, you're going to play 4-on-4. They lock in. McDaniel is not in a help position on the weak side. It's all about just trying to limit Bryce's touches. And when you're in that type of defensive set, that's where Bryce in transition's got a better opportunity, where he might have a mismatch of more opportunities with the alley-oop play.
There's that man Tyrell again. He's everywhere right now.
Good action. Simple 2-on-2 game in that middle cylinder. Any sort of help, and you can throw it up around the rim, and Harrison will go get it for you.
He's got all 4 of their points so far. He's a presence at the defensive end.
He's doing a great job.
Frustrations of John really is Bannon. Double comes. Late foul on the Wildcats. Here's the Harvey Norman replay.
See, Pinder just caught in that no man's land. Wasn't high enough to really contest it in a drop situation. And when you've got a big that gets underneath the defense and there's no tagger and no help, if the pass is on point, it's going to be a bucket.
100%. You know, you got to be drops in line and, you know, try play, stop the ball, and hopefully don't let it get over your head. And yeah, that one just, you know, easy lob right there for a dunk.
And Baines into the game. Sobey tees off. There is Baines. Loses the handle. So let's go back to Bryce Cotton, DJ. We were talking about him. We talk about him every game, obviously. How do you, when you're preparing to play the Wildcats, how do you go about trying to? You can't stop him, so how do you try and control him?
You try to make him tired. You know, don't let him catch the ball on offense, and then a lot of teams try to put him in that pick and roll action to try and slow him down and kind of exert his energy on the defensive end. But again, he's one of the best imports to ever play in this league, so you know, he's conditioned himself well to move, and he's always cutting and doing stuff. So yeah, it's hard. You know, it's a hard guy to cover, but it's also, he does well defensively as well.
Well, he's one that I'm sure you watched, just not from a scouting standpoint, because watching the game last night, a lot of the defensive strategies they're applying on Bryce, you have to see on a nightly basis as well.
Yeah, it's tiring for sure. You know, we had a good win last night, but I'll tell you what, it was a very tough and physical game against Southeast, and yeah, we were very fortunate to get the win.
That's the voice of DJ Vasiljevic. You can hear in commentary with us tonight. Andrew Gaze and Derek Rucker for the first time courtside, as Aaron Baines has been called for the foul. Evening, Ruck.
Hey, Jack and DJ, welcome to the lineup. I got your back later on in the broadcast. Don't you worry about that, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. It's good to be here. I took Cope's spot, so I'm in the primetime seat tonight.
Well, we're seeing a bit of a defensive struggle here in Nissan Arena, which is really rare. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Jesse Wagstaff, if he can loosen up this Brisbane defense a little bit. We know how well he works with Bryce Cotton, and his ability to shoot the 3 and also be able to pass out on the perimeter might be the key in this game. Jack, I know you were very, very angry about Jesse getting DNP'd, so here's his chance to repay you tonight.
He's been fantastic, Jesse Wagstaff, since he's come into this lineup, just for his, not only his physicality, Drew, but his basketball IQ. He just knows where he needs to be and how he gets people involved.
And spot on. And I think, Derek, all those things that he was talking about with Jesse Wagstaff, I think one of the most important ones is his passing, because Bryce, he's only going to ever be open for a count. It's a one count, and if you're not receiving that pass at the right time, then the job just becomes a whole lot harder. And because of that experience and also just Jesse's basketball IQ, he can deliver it on point. So it's, I don't think it's any coincidence. The more Jesse's played the last 4 or 5 games, the better Bryce has looked.
I think we'll be seeing too many more DMPs next to Jesse Wagstaff's name this season. A couple early.
Yeah, he's a veteran guy. You need him out there when things aren't going, you know, the way they needs to be. So he's definitely the most reliable guy out there, that's for sure.
Deep from Cotton. Bannon will have to shoot with 1 on the clock. Let it off the rim and went and got his own rebound. Isaac White wide open in the corner.
Gee. Played 5.5 minutes and it's 4-5.
Not exactly an offensive feast, is it, the start of this game?
It's either a great defensive game or there's a lid on the rim.
Well, there's a bit of both. And the Bullets 2 of 12, they're only 16%. And they've had some okay looks. That's a really good look.
Webster takes it straight at Sobey.
Looked like a lot of contact by Sobey on that one.
Bannon to the other end. He can't score. 4 of 24 combined, both teams to start the game, as Cotton goes charging into a brick wall in the form of Aaron Baines, and that's an offensive foul.
Baines is a tough guy to knock down, that's for sure.
Yeah, right place, the right time. Picked it perfectly where Bryce was going to go, and they are doing their absolute very best to keep Bryce going left. It's clearly in the scouting report with what their strategies they're going to use, and even Baines there, he knew he'd cut in and guarded him and jumped on that high side trying to send him left and drew the charge.
Jordan Usher into the game. Picks up a foul in the first 5 seconds and sends Brisbane to the free throw line.
You played them a little earlier on in the season, got the win, and at that stage, that was when the Wildcats were still trying to figure things out. And it just we were at that game and we were commentating, and it just the relationship between Bryce and Usher, it didn't look great, and seems like that's.
Yeah, I think they were having a few headbutts here and there, and I think JR's done a good job of figuring out let's start Usher on the bench, and there's that veteran dude right there, Jesse Wagstaff, with a nice move. But yeah, they were butting heads here and there, and I think JR's done a good job. Told Usher, hey, you're going to come off the bench and give us that energy there. And obviously this is Bryce Cotton's team and has been for a long time, so they've figured it out. They just got to continue to do the same stuff game in, game out.
Baines backs in over the top of Alex Sarr. At very different ends of their careers. Baines wins that little battle at 7 apiece. The side of the backboard. It's a little wild. Chris Smith also into the game. Teams heading to their benches back end. That time the foul will be on Baines.
And that's where, DJ, you might have been one of the culprits last night, can't remember, but Baines gets the foul. A lot of the times it's the ball carrier, the ball handler's just not waiting long enough until the guy gets there. They're trying to get a little anxious, and again, when the defense, the screener hasn't had the chance to set their feet and be completely stationary, it's something we've seen over the last couple of years that they're just not going to allow you to move on those screens.
Alex Sarr.
It's a nice move. Yeah, we had a few moving screens last night. Again, it comes down to the guards waiting on the bigs, and it's hard to see when you see a little, when you can go, you go.
Yeah,
you see a little opportunity, you got to take full advantage of it. But the ref's call, you got to respect it. And you just move forward, so you just got to adjust.
Sarr v. Zakarski is the matchup currently.
Travel.
It's a travel. And with the call there from John Riley, either shoot it or move it.
We'll say that's 2 travels on us already. Come down here, DJ. Sticky feet as well. 2 travels already. I've heard you. Yeah.
I'd just be careful if I was John Riley. Mark Mill has got the biggest arms in the NBL, one of our senior officials.
That's just John trying to work the refs.
Here's the lob. Oh! Stuffs it with the one hand.
Next star right there.
Rocco Zikarsky in with immediate impact for the Bullets. Now it's starting to open up a little bit. Cotton scores over the top of everyone.
And Drew, that's to your point. You know, Bryce likes to go right. And, you know, you saw Baines take a charge, you know, slide his speed. I think that needs to be an emphasis of forcing Bryce to his left hand and make him go finish with his left. Make it be something different.
And he can do it, but it's just the lesser of two evils.
Cotton swings to Usher. Trips over. A great start to this game.
That's a good pass. Again, it's that middle cylinder, that middle on-ball screen, and the way in which they're in that drops. Again, you've got a big guy throwing it up, and if you're just a half a metre too high, it is so hard if you're not going to get some help. Sometimes it's better. It's still a risk, but you get up a lot higher and just the ball pressure rather than letting the ball carrier get that deep.
Was called upon against Sydney last week. Rocco Zikarsky with Harrison injured and Baines in foul trouble. Played some very important minutes in that one. He's off to a good start tonight. Wildcats lead by 2. Low scoring first quarter at Nissan Arena. Sobey, 0 from 2 to start the game. Guarded by Saar. Sobey all the way in.
Yeah, he wasn't going to go quiet. You know, scoring's dried up. It's 11-11. You know, Sobey's going to get this going. And nice defense there by Sam McDaniel.
And finishes with the left hand. Back-to-back buckets for Brisbane. They find themselves out by 2 now.
This is where we see, Drew, we talk at the start of the game, you know, getting up, pressuring Bryce and, you know, tiring, bringing that ball up. So, you know, Sam McDaniel, we'll see Mitch Norton. I think Isaac White will get a go at it too. So, you know, it'll be interesting.
Great hands by McDaniel. And that size, he's not going to be bullied.
A beautiful pass inside. Doolittle for Cotton.
Beautiful read, Jack. They tried to top block him. Yep. And he just read it perfectly, and that's what I'm talking about with the timing. Didn't go too early, wait until the passer squares up, so Doolittle squares up first, because sometimes you're cutting, but if the passer can't see you, you're not going to take advantage of it. But Bryce just set him up beautifully, and really good execution by the Perth Wildcats.
And you talk about Doolittle there, Drewy. Sorry, Jack, to interrupt, but he's only finding his way into this lineup, and his contribution in this swing, in this upswing from the Wildcats is underrated. He came in late into the season, got an injury, and now he's only really figuring out what's going on.
Plus 15 on Thursday in their win over Cairns.
And again, with the FIBA break coming up, that's just only going to continue to get better and better. And you know, when you get that team chemistry, and next game they're definitely all going to click together.
Mitchell, second time around. Late 3 for the Bullets. One last chance for the Wildcats. Cotton got it away. Zikarsky takes care of it, and the Bullets cling to a 2-point lead at quarter time. Low-scoring affair, Saturday night hoops at Nissan Arena. We've got DJ Vasiljevic in the house. It's the Bullets by 2 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It took a little while for things to open up, but eventually when it did, the Bullets lead by 2 at quarter time, 16-14 over the Perth Wildcats. Tyrell Harrison, a big factor in the game early on, and then Rocco Zikarsky comes in and has immediate impact as well. 2-point lead to Brisbane. Andrew Gaze and DJ Vasiljevic in commentary tonight. Derek Rucker is courtside. What do we make of the opening quarter, DJ?
There's no offense really, 4-5 after 6 or 7 minutes, but I think guys will get going slowly. Nathan Sobey, you saw Bryce Cotton getting going, so I think it'll start to open up more offensively, or everyone's just playing great defense.
Cotton has 5 points. Nathan Sobey only has a couple. Doolittle on the move, pinned up. Norton steps in and takes the charge. He's one of the very best in the NBL at doing that.
He is, and takes a bit of courage as well. You got a big guy coming at you, and he picked the right way, read the big fella, and it's a little easier when the big fellas are there. They don't change directions as quick as some of the little guys. So once you pick it the right way, then you just got to hold your ground and hope you don't get hurt.
Earlier tonight, the Jack Jumpers, off the back of a Jack McVeigh game winner, beat the Cairns Taipans by 3. An absolute thriller. Harrison takes it hard at Pinder. Doolittle lost the handle. Last touch by Brisbane.
Well, neither team having an easy time on the offensive end. 35% for the Wildcats, 31% for the Bullets. And Wildcats in that first quarter only took 3-point field goal attempts. There are of 3.
With the Bullets being 1 of 5 too, so this might be a very tight defensive game.
Staff couldn't control the offensive rebound. Chris Smith head down to the basket. Great take. His first points of the night. Is he making a little run at 6th Man of the Year conversation right now, Chris Smith?
I think so. I like him. I see him more as every time he touches the ball outside the 3, it's going up. But taking it to the rim, playing defense. It's early to tell, but I think he's up there for sure.
16 points. They played in round 5. Brisbane winners on that night. There's a turnover for Perth. Smith again, coast to coast.
Being aggressive, I like it.
Well, defensive transition, I know it's coming off a turnover, which put them in a tough situation, but they're just lacking a little urgency. Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Smith with the reverse. And then here it is. Someone's got to meet, Usher needed to meet him a whole lot earlier. And pinned up just too deep. Smith gets to the cup. Timeout.
20-14, the Bullets lead. It's a good start of the second quarter. Let's get courtside to Derek Rucker.
Well, I was watching the game last night. A great call by you, Andrew, but even a better performance by DJ Vasiljevic. DJ, I love what you do. I love the skill that you bring, but most importantly, the will. But let's have a look at some of this vision from last night. You hit a very tough jumper right there, moving to your left, off the glass. Look at that right there. Bang, off the glass. And what does the great man Andrew Gaze have to say about it? Lucky. Then here, not in the greatest stance. Scottie Pippen ain't jealous of your stance there, but nevertheless, you locked him down, you get a great result. And what did Drewy call it? Lucky. Come on, Andrew. Give him some love.
No, not at all. Gave him a lot of love. He's my boy. There's no doubt about that. But you did not call back on that shot.
No,
did not.
You know what the funny thing is? me and Jason had this discussion in the locker room. He asked me if I called bank. I think it was actually Brett Maher who was sitting courtside who called bank. So a great shooter like him saw it going in, and yeah, he's the one who called bank.
And a little lucky on that one where Ben Ayres there, you just walked him over the sideline.
That's just great defense right there, Drewy. Something I don't think was in your repertoire when you played. You was just getting buckets. That's all you knew.
Offense is sometimes the best form of defense.
Fresh off 29 points last night. DJ Vasily in commentary tonight. What's been better for Brisbane in this second quarter so far?
I think they're doing a great job of, just limiting Perth to one shot, really pressuring the ball, and they're putting an emphasis of getting the ball in the paint, as you see Smith get another close bucket right there. So Perth has to step it up defensively. I think this is just too easy right now.
Oh, my word, it is, and that's a breakdown. You see the strategy was right. Clearly they're trying to have the help come from the baseline, but just got there too slow and not the urgency that was required from Pinder to get there. Usher was playing on the high side, and sometimes you're doing strategically what you want to do, but you just got to do it with a whole lot more vigor.
Do have a tendency to Perth to come in and out of games at times. It's been a little better in recent weeks. Haven't scored so far this quarter. Usher was demanding the ball. He's going to get it back. Shot clock at 10. Wagstaff catch and shoot. That'll be a Brisbane ball.
One thing I think Brisbane are doing really well is they're identifying there's no shooters out on the floor right now, in my opinion, besides Jesse Wagstaff. So, they're playing the elbows, they're playing the blocks, they're packing in the paint. So, every time Perth try to drive, someone's right there trying to help them out.
And it's interesting you say that, DJ, because do we classify Usher as a shooter as bad and lets one fly? But is Usher a shooter, guys? Because his percentages are decent, but he looks apprehensive in the past couple of possessions. And this is a game he should be really able to thrive with so much defensive attention being given to Cotton.
His shooting percentage is down now, Drew, to 29% for the season. It was better than that at the start, but it's kind of been the story of Jordan Usher's season. In the first 5 games, he averaged 34 minutes a game. In the last 5, he's averaging 20.
I think he's one of those guys that you're going to see how he's react. You're not going to go overcommit to him right now and see what he's going to be like. And I agree with Derek a little. I think it's almost like he's going through those that period where he's thinking, is this a good shot or a bad shot? And he's thinking it too much.
Doolittle and one.
And that's the worst thing you can do as a shooter. When you're out there thinking, should I or shouldn't I? If ever should I or shouldn't I goes through your head, then you shouldn't.
Drew, you already know you and I have the same mindset. You shoot it every time.
If it's the right shot, of course.
Come on.
DJ's just shooting it. Speaking of shooters, John Riley?
Yep, John. Between John, Derek, myself and DJ, I doubt very much we're ever going to be sort of troubling the defensive all-star 5.
Attempts would be high.
I reckon we get a lot of wins.
I think we would.
You got to put the ball in the hole, and threes are worth more, so we were all good at that.
We're not certainly going to have no 16-14 first quarters.
The opposition would score a few as well, just quietly Smith.
I think it would have been 16-14 after the first 2 minutes with us out there. So
Chris Smith, all of a sudden up to 8 points as the game's leading scorer.
I like it. He's every time I've watched him play, his first couple of shots have been outside from the 3, but I think he's going inside, playing really well.
Perfect. 4 of 4 from the field. And the Bullets lead by 7 on their home floor at Nissan Arena. Doolittle off the glass, can't score. Wildcats now 7 of 23 from the field. Harrison force his way in over Hiram. Harrison does.
And that's what happens when you got a smaller guy, Harris, right there, but Harrison's just too big. Able to back him into his spot.
I like Tyrell. Every time he catches it down there, he's playing with a lot of patience, and you just saw him finish right there.
Rips the one and back. Usher blocked. Got it away and was fouled. They're not having a good quarter here, Perth.
No, they're not. They're really struggling. 30% from the field. And they just look a step below. And I think that you give the Brisbane Bullets a lot of credit. They've come out and been super aggressive, really identifying their game plan about how they want to pack it in and try and help out on that, on any sort of penetration. And it's causing the Wildcats some problems.
Yeah, I've been coached by Justin Schuller in the past, and he was our defensive-minded coach. So, he's emphasising defence today. So, they're doing a great job stopping the ball when they drive in, and they're limiting them to one shots and then going down the other end.
I want to get back to your relationship with Justin Schuller in a moment. Derek Rucker courtside.
Now, Andrew, I reluctantly say this and present this to you. Could the Wildcats be suffering from traveling and just feeling a bit heavy-legged or just a bit flat?
No, I think there is a strong prospect there. It's a long trip. They've had a emotional month or so, even though they're on a high of their win streak. You feel like, well, we've done enough. We can take the foot off the pedal ever so slightly, and I don't think that that's unreasonable at all, Derek, given the context of it.
There's Justin Schuller. Let's go back to what you were saying, DJ. Was it 2012 you first came across Justin Schuller?
Yeah, we played at I think it was under 16 Oceania Championships in Traralgon, the hometown of Jack White, and he was our head coach. We ended up winning the gold medal, and he ended up becoming our assistant for the under 17s, where myself and Isaac Humphries, Jack White, we had Harry Froling too. Big shout out to Harry Froling. We ended up winning silver medal at the under 17 World Championships, and it's great to see Justin in a head coaching role in the NBL.
He's done it the hard way. He's doing a good job in his first season. Alex Sarr steps out for three. Doolittle blocked. The foul on Isaac White. Michael Aylen on the spot.
Hey, come on, man. I'm one down. Were you talking to me? Huh? Were you talking to me? I was talking to Michael. Okay. I thought you were talking to me. I just want you to be consistent at both ends.
He wasn't talking to you, but he's definitely talking about you. That's what he was doing.
26-19. Sellout crowd at Nissan Arena. Chris Smith with a hand in the face. Has 11 points, and he is hot.
It's a good-looking stroke. And that's what happens with shooters. He gets the easy one, well, the ones closer around the basket, getting to the cup. Start to feel good about yourself and knocks down the three ball.
He's 5 of 6 from the field tonight. To the league with a reputation as being an elite scorer. There's Alex Sarr, an elite rim protector.
Great block by the next star.
Here he is for three.
Oh, dear.
There's no way he called bank.
No,
and they are not open on a Saturday night, but he'll take it.
Deej, come on. I know they're your boys, and you're not calling bank.
I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot of games this round where the bank's been wide open, late night shifts, everything. As long as it goes in, Drew, that's all that matters.
That is, of course it does. And
Chris Smith again to the rim.
He's causing all sorts of havoc off the bounce.
Which, as DJ said, we haven't seen a lot of this year from Chris Smith, have we? The ability to put the ball on the floor. Sarr tries again.
Again, I think it comes down to, staying confident, staying ready, trying to find your role in the team. And, he's come out really aggressive.
Everything going through him at the moment as well, as it should. Defers to Isaac White. Shot clock at 3. This is a little sloppy from Brisbane. It ended up being a lot sloppy.
Hey, Derek, too, when you get a chance, I want you to give me an assessment of Sarr's shooting technique. He's got a problem, I think, with his guide hand. He shoots it and he brings it right behind the ball, and that just makes a bit of a problem.
Drew, I was just thinking the same thing, and I was going to cross over and analyze his shot. His hands are too tight on the ball. He needs to get separation, and I don't like the lack of an early wrist load.
Jordan Usher.
Spot on. That's it's something that it's fixable, highly fixable. It's not a real difficult thing to change.
That's one thing he can do is block shots. Sends that one packing from Norton.
You can teach a man how to get his guide hand right and fix up the stroke. It's very hard to teach someone to go ahead and protect the rim like that.
That's all effort right there. You can't teach effort. That's work ethic too. So.
A little birdie tells me that you might have got the early tip-off on Alex Sarr about a year ago. Is that right?
Yeah, last year at the Summer League, I played with his brother Olivier, who's now with the OKC Thunder. And, you know, he was telling me about his younger brother and how much better he is than him. So it doesn't surprise me that, you know, he's come in, he's impacting. You know, it's just confidence as a next star, you know, trying to fit in the system. But, you know, as Drew said, you can always fix a shot, but he's doing everything else, blocking shots, rebounding, impacting and stuff like that. So, you know, they have him as the #1 pick in this coming, you know, mock draft. So I look forward to, you know, seeing his progression, you know, throughout the year. And
Chris Smith says good night. This is some sort of first half. 15 points. He's taking this game over single-handedly as Usher fires away. It's another look at it, same spot. Sarr rebounds. Harris into the paint, scores with the extra free throw to come.
there's definitely a lid on the rim. Both teams are combined 3 of 21 from the three-point line, Drew.
And there've been some decent looks as well.
Do they have to revert to the bank shot?
I wouldn't be recommending it, but it's an issue that can be contagious. And you see it's collectively all the shots missing. When you do, when it's your turn, it can play some mind games. It shouldn't, but it can.
Snooze timeout, 33-26. DJ, speaking of little birdies, I had a couple of little birdies just deliver some news today. You and Ty Webster, what's the thing about the headbands that you two have got going?
During my first year in the league, Ty Webster used to rock a Hungry Jack's headband. And the reason for it is because he gave out the most cheeseburgers throughout that season. So with the afro he's got, I actually asked him in Perth a few weeks ago if he ever rock it again, and he said he's just waiting on Hungry Jack's to deliver it. So hopefully they can send one out to him.
I think we could tee that up for Ty Webster, couldn't we? Jack Cowan's a giving man at Hungry Jack's, Drew.
My word, he is, and I'm tipping John really doesn't see the funny side of that. He wants him to be making, he wants him to be making his free throws, not giving them away.
There he is, Corey, not playing tonight with a sore ankle. Hasn't played the last two anyway.
Why did you go referee? Because I can't play for the league. Here we go, we're ready now.
Michael Allen just being honest there. So Michael Allen's one of the best at what he does, and you know he's really good with the players, and you know when things don't go our way, he's always communicative. So he's a great referee for this league.
This is not a platform for you to try to get a few calls here.
Come on, Drew. I think
playing
I shot 13 free throws last night. That's the most I've ever shot. Probably a combined my rookie year and then my second year in the league. So
roll down to the last minute of the first half.
Oh dear.
Chris Smith's done a lot of things right that time. His possession. And Bryce Cotton makes them pay at the other end. It's a 4-point game.
Beautiful use of the body too by Bryce. Made that look real easy, but he's got a bigger guy, an athletic guy, going up against him. But just the way in which he uses his body to protect the ball, all class by Bryce Cotton.
Only 4 attempts from the field in the first half for Nathan Sobey. Number 5 is off target. Cotton out for Sarr. It's short. And Bryce is on the spot. Quick three.
There he is. And I don't know if you heard at the start of that possession when Bryce was bringing it down, Justin Schuller was yelling, take one, with the man down Sobey in the back.
Now John Rillie will call the chase off. With the shot clock switched off.
Sloppy by the Bullets.
Perth have scored the last 8 on the way to halftime. They get the ball out of Cotton's hands. Mitch Norton will look up and throw up a prayer from halfway. The Bullets led by 10 points only a minute and a half ago. The Perth Wildcats have finished strong, and there's a 1 point difference at the half.
Yeah, it's been a tough half for both these teams. There's been moments where we've been seeing some good action, but 33% from the field for the Wildcats, that puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And fortunately for them, the Bullets only a little better at 39%.
Let's get over to Derek Rucker, courtside.
Here with Chris Smith. Chris, you're the only one able to provide any offensive spark out there. 15 points. What did you make of that first half?
Coaches, teammates got a good job giving me the ball, trying to get the mismatch, and all we got to do is keep it up. Might be somebody else next half, but keep playing as a team.
Happy with the defensive job you guys have done on Bryce Cotton thus far?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of the game plan for us, so just, got to keep going. It's not over yet.
Okay, Chris, have a good break.
It's the Bullets by 1 at halftime. Nissan Arena, your venue for Saturday night hoops. A sellout crowd. It's the Bullets 33, the Wildcats 32. Stick with us. This is the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Bunnings is backing the next generation of ballers. I'm here with Campbell Blogg and Brad Newley, and we're at the Sandringham Sabres. We're going to surprise them with some tickets to a Melbourne United game. Come on, let's roll. Hey! What up? Well, you're the next generation of ballers, and Bunnings is backing you guys, so we're here to tell you that we're giving you all tickets to come to a Melbourne United game. Sound good? For Bunnings to be here backing the next generation of ballers. It's amazing. It helps us get out to more kids and to hopefully get more kids into the NBL.
The Brisbane Bullets. Big shots in the whites. Check them out. Angelito, Halo, Bowden, Bushnell, Harry Griffin, Cooper Henderson and Josh West. Big shots in the blue. Elijah Moore, Kai Tuaka. We've got Daniel Deacon, Braxton Holloway and Isaac Whitehouse. Bit of noise for our big shots on a Saturday night in Nissan Arena. As always, at half-time, it's a pleasure to talk to Georgia, the Community Programs Manager. There's no slowing down for you and your entire industry and your department. Please tell me what's making headlines.
Thank you. So we have Duckman State High School here today. They are one of our partner schools. So the partner school program enables schools to invest in the Brisbane Bullets to help excel their basketball program. We offer a few deliverables, which can include the water cleans experience, minute statement, coach development and training sessions. So if this interests you, feel free to reach out to us at community@brisbanebullets.com.au.
It's officially summer. Did you know this?
It is. What else?
So when summer hits, tell me, what's the real big headline?
The real big headline is our summer
Bryce going to get his Australian citizenship?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm Australian. Maybe we can make it a real thing somewhere in the future.
An NBL legend says Bryce Cotton is so good he should be part of the Boomers' starting 5 at the Tokyo Olympics.
That's why he needs to beat Boomer Bryce. That's why he needs to go to Tokyo.
So nothing's ever happened of that?
Considering I heard how close it was last year, I would have thought by now something would have shook, but nah, same old same.
It's one of Australia's leading immigration lawyers has criticised the federal government for the failure to make Bryce Cotton Australian. For Bryce's sake.
The Wildcats presented the opportunity, like, oh, if we go through these steps, you know, you can get citizenship and then maybe play for the Boomers. And it was a cool idea that I never thought of before, but, you know, that's all it's been. Amazing, so I'm not really holding my breath for it, seeing how the last few years have been. I've been annoyed with the process and I guess just the reasoning for why. It's comedy to me at this point, you know, if the reason why I can't get it is because my one visa was canceled for 15 minutes to make me a permanent resident. I was deemed unlawfully in the country. If that's the reason I can't get it for 15 minutes, then okay, cool. It's just not in the cards for me. A lot of athletes always have that what if on their careers, and it's starting to seem like that'll be mine. And you know, if that's what God has in store for me, then that'll be my what if I played for the Boomers.
Oh! What's going on today? Send Elmo a copy of that. So we want that at the Olympics in green and gold.
Indeed, Elmo.
Fascinating insight from Bryce Cotton at halftime. You don't often hear him talk about the citizenship challenges, Andrew Gaze. He's been very quiet about it. He prefers to let others do the talking. You can see how much it means to him.
Yeah, and I think for many of the fans, and certainly for me, it's disappointing that opportunity wasn't able to be figured out. And sometimes some technicalities, some red tape it seems like it's caused some difficulties. But also, if you're a Perth Wildcats fan, imagine he's an Australian. Potentially another high-quality import spot opens up. So it would have been a significant advantage for them as well.
It's a great shame, DJ. I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, you can hear the frustration in his voice. He just wants to become an Australian citizen. He's played here for 6-7 years. You know, he's done all the things he's done, and I think he deserves it. Honestly, I think he does, and it only just makes Perth an even more powerhouse.
We spoke to him on the radio program do during the week, and he mentioned that when his time is done in basketball, this is his home. He's going to live here, and this is what he's going to call home for the rest of his life. So it's not like he's just doing this for sport reasons. He's doing it because he's a genuine Australian citizen.
And I think he wants to work in media as well post-career, so he might not be able to take your records, but he might take your job, Drew.
Yeah, that's why.
Before it's all said and done. Half-time here. It's the Brisbane Bullets.
Immigration. Don't let the man get his citizenship.
Perth Wildcats. The way Chris Smith started this game and has got himself to 15 points at half-time, I'd say that's probably the most comfortable he's looked all season.
Yeah, he looks, he's attacking the rim. I think it's opening up for him, and he's just being really aggressive. As I said, I've watched a few games. Every shot he's taken has been outside the 3 to start, but now he's getting to the rim, opening up a lot, and yeah, he's just being aggressive.
He is, and he comes for a guy of his skill sets. He's a great asset to have, the role they've got playing, because that's what he can do. They run a couple of sets specifically for him. We haven't seen it tonight, but they run a nice elevator play for him to get him some looks, and that's why. You see the stroke, 7-8 from the field. He's shooting at 87%, and he's really the only one for either team that's really got it going. Certainly, Bryce has done his thing down the other end, but you look at the shot chart, inside, outside, even the mid-ranger, which you don't see a whole lot of these days, and only the one miss from the three-point line.
He's the game's leading scorer at the half. It's been low scoring. This thing is about to break open, 33-32 at Nissan Arena. This is Saturday Night Hoops. Stay with us.
offer an excellent opportunity to refine your skills during the upcoming school holidays. These programs are available across Southeast Queensland. Register now by visiting the Brisbane Bullets website and accessing the Community tab for additional information. Alternatively, you can email us at community@brisbanebullets.com.au. Get involved. Round 9 is December 3rd at Nissan Arena against the Hawks. Make sure we pack this place out again. Get your tickets, brisbanebullets.com.au. Seconds to go, 30 seconds for the second half.
Half-time at Nissan Arena, the Bullets lead 33-32. Alex Sarr has played a role in this first half as well for the Perth Wildcats. Has 5 points, has been +5 in his time on the court. His jump shot, as we've spoken about, has a little bit of work to do. His shot blocking ability is there for us all to see.
Yeah, that's the effort right there. You know, getting the rebounds, coming over from the weak side, blocking shots, and you know, you just got to fix the jump shot. But again, as Drewy said, it's the little things, and it's easy to fix. So, you know, let's continue for him to have a great second half.
Could you donate a little bit of your time, Andrew Gaze, as the greatest scorer this league's ever seen, just to try and help him out with that shot? What would that cost him?
No, not at all.
He's about to go 1 or 2 in the draft, so I think he can afford it.
I think he's got a very good teacher in John Riley. He knew how to get it done as well. So he's got a lot of people in his head. Last thing he needs is anyone else jumping in telling him what he should or shouldn't do.
Drewy's got a busy schedule as it is, so I don't think he has the time. So.
No, it's but we look at these numbers with both teams. 4 of 26 combined. Am I reading that right? Yep, 4 of 26 from the 3-point line. So the first team that can really start to get it going from the 3-point line should have an advantage. But that's another way to solve your problems. Just get it in, and as Bannon makes an easy one with his preferred left.
Keanu Pinder staying out there for his 3rd foul.
I think the Perth Wildcats need to find, you know, something to get him going. You know, I think, what, he had 4 points last game. He's got 1 point. You know, I think we got to find, you know, something to get him going. You know, get that presence inside, and I think that'll just open up for Bryce Cotton even more.
Foul off the ball.
I think they also got to find a way to get Sobey some better looks. He's 1 of 5 in that first half and 0 of 2. And a couple of those attempts he had looked a little rushed, a little anxious because he just wasn't seeing it enough. Trying to find a way to get one of the league's leading scorers going.
20 points a game this season, Nathan Sobey. He's denied the ball once again. Bannon will have to get himself busy. Slips over.
Now, Drew,
clock will beat the Bullets.
Now, Drewy, as a scorer, you see that things aren't going your way. Do you go out and try just force one? Not a bad shot, but just go try and create for others if you're Sobey in this case.
Well, he has the athleticism where he can do that, but I think...
When he's laying on the ground, it's not trouble. But he had the ball in his feet. The ball was on the ground. He had the ball.
But the ball was on the ground. I think I agree with the official on that occasion. But for me, I never had that athleticism. So for me, it was all about the structure. And I relied heavily on my teammates because most of my action came off the ball. Sobey, though, with his athleticism, It's about getting it through some hands, getting him into a comfortable position, or even setting him up for something cheap. A little backdoor cut, get to the free throw line, get your points ticking over, and then you just feel a whole lot better about yourself. But right now, it's he's looking at this and he's saying, well, where are my shots going to come from?
Yeah, I think he's got to get to the free throw line. Just see one free throw go in, as a scorer's mindset, you can open up and, you know, get your confidence rolling, honestly.
And you give, hey, the Wildcats have done a great job. Clearly, he would have been very high priority on their scouting report, and they've done a good job of making it difficult for him.
Pinder drives and draws a foul on Harrison. It'll be his second, and Pinder will find himself on the line.
Yeah, well, hopefully that can get him going. You know, we've got to see that Keanu Pinder we've seen the last few years at Cairns. Just get aggressive. You know, be one of those guys that, you know, Bryce is always going to be the main guy on Perth, but if others can get involved like himself, do a little, you know, it just opens up everything for Bryce and makes them a very, very dangerous team.
I mentioned his 4 points last week. It's his lowest since round 15 of the 21-22 season. There's a lot of fans in Brisbane who are hoping this misses, and they're about to be disappointed. Derek Rucker courtside.
Well, guys, you talk about the lack of scoring, but the truth is that both of these teams in the past month or so are trending very well defensively. They've improved their defensive ratings, and that's the reason why both of them are playing much better basketball, as we see Nordo get his feet tangled up. So it may not be so much about the shooting. It may just be about the pressure that they're having to deal with on the defensive end of the floor.
No doubt. No doubt that's one of the big reasons for it.
That's why we've got D-Ruck out there. We're out here talking about offense, and, you know, he's doing a great job talking about their defense.
It's Webster. Shot clock at 5 again. The Wildcats forced to make a decision late. Pinder on the move, blocked by Harrison.
Is there going to be any time left?
Maybe 0.2, 0.3, unless...
It's not going to be a lot, is it?
No, it'll have to be a lob to the rim, if anything.
Well, 0.6, I reckon. I just saw a glimpse of the shot clock as that went out of play, around 0.5, 0.6 maybe. 0.3.
That's what's on the clock.
All right. I have better angle.
Pinder, his struggles continue. 0 of 4 from the field tonight.
It's really just a tap. It's what you've got when it's 0.3. Like that.
Oh, it almost worked. Clever tip in by Harris. And that is a hard landing for Tyrell Harrison. Meanwhile, Josh Bannon has just been cooked in the background.
Well, he was upset because of the O boards. Josh Bannon is the culprit. And let's have a look at Josh Bannon.
That's as vocal as we've heard Justin Schuller in his first 12 games in charge.
You hear him say you know, habits and consistency. You know, they did a great job in that second quarter, but, you know, let up, and, you know, it's starting to roll over into the third.
Well, positionally, on that particular play, it didn't look like there was a whole lot Josh Bannon could have done. I think it was more just on that initial rebound, just having that determination, just be more physical and go and get it. And even if you're uncertain, snatch it out of your teammates' hands. You'd rather have the two teammates fighting for it than just being passive and bobbling out like it did.
Baines back out there. Sobey getting himself involved in the game. Bannon will swing to Norton. Nice look with his feet set. That's well short. Brisbane 2 of 12 from outside. Perth 3 of 17. Norton almost came up.
Well, he did. I think they've called Bryce Cotton for stepping out of bounds, didn't they?
I think he has. Yes, he has. The ref's right down the other end.
See the shooting stats at the bottom of your screen. Heads up play for Baines. All sorts of tangled up with Webster and Pinder.
Black 25.
That's Keanu's 4th foul.
Wow. That was an interesting one because it looked like Keanu was in front and it was Baines coming over the top. And I think John really might agree with me. And is he going to review this, Jack?
I think it was just a bad pass and it was short, and it'll be interesting to see how the referees see this.
So you can understand why John really is challenging this. As you say, DJ, it will be Keanu Pinder's 4th foul. So it's an important call, this one. There's Aaron Baines.
It was a short pass. They short-armed the pass, and Keanu looked like he was in front. And I'm not even sure yet. Has there been a challenge on this one?
Yes, sir.
It certainly has, the coach's challenge. He's in front. He goes straight up. I don't know what Keanu Pinder did wrong.
I don't think there's anything he could have done.
Goes up, and then Baines just inadvertently
his mask ripped off.
It was just a short pass.
Now, I don't know what the original call was. It for a hold or it was for a block?
Michael Aylen, our senior official, at the desk.
Don't worry about the clock. After review, coach's challenge is successful. The foul on black 25 will be cancelled. As blue had possession of the ball, they will retain that and will inbound from the baseline.
Got that right.
Had the ball, so they retain it. They did? Yes.
Are you sure?
I have had the feedback, and they've looked at it on 37.
But are you sure?
I don't have to be sure.
Trust me, JR, we're sure up here.
Both guys were on the floor.
Even when he gets the call, he's still not happy, John, really. Hard man to please. Wildcats by 2. Norton has that one bounce out. Baines kept it alive for the Bullets.
Nice take.
White finds a path through. His first points of the night. It's been a grind at Nissan Arena. As Derek said, both teams have trended upwards defensively. Trying to explain our low score tonight.
Blue 34!
When it's in a situation like this, DJ, and it's hard, it's a grind, it's getting buckets is not an easy thing. You're a shooter and you're a scorer. How do you try and get something that you want?
You kind of have to read the game. I think everyone's packing in the paint. I think you need to kind of get inside. So a little post touch. What we do for Isaac is what we did especially last night was try to get him going in that 3rd quarter. And as you saw, it just opened up the entire floor for everyone. You know, Trenton Flowers, we had Jacob Wiley hit 3. So just try to get your big men involved, because if we start scoring down low, it just opens up everything else. But for me, like, again, I want to take initiative when I play, so I'll try to create or get downhill and be aggressive and try to take the right shot to kind of get the momentum of offense rolling.
Chris Smith from outside. Been happening off the ball again. That one will be on Baines, and that'll be his 3rd. He's not too pleased with the call. Derek Rucker.
And as Tyrell Harrison checks into the game, he told me just a couple of minutes ago that he's fine. The little knock that he took on his lower back has eased up pain-wise, and he's ready to go. But DJ, you know, you say you want to get the ball into the bigs, but sometimes as a scorer, there's also that inclination, that urge to just go nuclear and start bombing and see if you can knock down some shots and blow the game open, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I think that's me a little bit in a nutshell. And again, but I try to play team basketball, winning basketball. But as you said, if things, you know, aren't going the way it is, I'm going to take that initiative and try to go score.
Hiram Harris on the free throw line. He's not missed a free throw this season so far. And you would find all that out on NBL Plus. All that and a whole lot more. You can unlock all of the stats, all of the classic NBL moments, partner offers. It's free via the NBL app or NBL.com.au. It's all the stuff we use, Drew.
It is. They do an outstanding job of collating it.
Commentators curse. I heard last night Drew and Cope said that I'd missed a free throw all year. And
16 in a row you'd made.
And the next thing you know...
missed 3 of them.
I missed 3 of them. Trust me, I copped an earful from my old man after the game.
Sorry, Hiram. Bannon in the mid-range. That's nice. Josh Bannon. There's 4 points. Ties it away at 39. Midway through the third term.
A lot of standing around.
Yeah.
Doolittle sticking on the business for himself. Turnaround jumper.
And that's what he's good at. He's really good at that mid-range. Usually we've seen him more facing the basket and that size and bulk. He doesn't do it with the explosive speed, but just uses his strength as Norton finally gets one to fall. He's another one that's had some challenges. 1 of 8 from the field.
Zakarski at the scorer's table, getting ready to check in. And back through Doolittle. Similar spot this time. Gets 2 feet into the paint.
And there's that hustle man, Hiram Harris again.
Cotton. Get another look at it here. That missed. Webster, great pass. Hiram Harris again.
There he is. Well, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
It's like the chaos ball. He throws up an air ball. Everyone's shocked. And the hustle by Harris, who we see him on the boards again. And then there's that moment of chaos. And eventually they get a cheapie out of it.
8 points to go with 4 rebounds. In a low-scoring game, Hiram Harris has the best plus-minus of any player on the floor tonight.
And I think they've done a great job inserting him in the starting lineup. He's given them that energy. He does all the little things. And yeah, I think they need a guy out there like him.
And the same thing with Doolittle. They've just subbed him out, but he's been good as well.
There's the misses from underneath. Great to have DJ Vasiljevic in commentary with us tonight.
That's great to be here. Back home, get to see the family, but also get to do stuff with you guys.
You did want just a little snack at halftime, but Drew's truly polished off the sweet spot. It's Webster.
Everyone knows these lollies, the banana lollies are unreal, and
oh dear.
Me and Drewy may have killed a bag or 2 together. So.
Been good to have one, actually.
Drewy doesn't share lollies, unfortunately.
Oh, no, and that's what he can do. Watch this kid throughout his junior career. He played for Blackburn in Victoria, and that's what he was really good at. Coming in, had the ultimate green light throughout his junior career. And you give him feet set, he's going to knock him down, as is that man. He doesn't even need his feet set.
Going back to Josh Bannon, I didn't know much about him, but I found out his sister and my sister play in the same NBL1 team, so it's good to see him hooping in the NBL, that's for sure.
There you go. 3 years at Montana. Sobey swings to Smith, has been open for a while.
The man stays hot. He's got 18 points now, 8 of 10.
Well, every other player on the floor's had their trouble shooting tonight. Chris Smith is 8 of 10. Blows past Zakarski and scores. All of a sudden, Bryce Cotton has 13 points. Make that 15.
Well, he's getting into that mode that DJ and Derek were talking about, where he's taking matters into his own hands. Hits a 3, that time gets to the cup. And down the other end, it's becoming a little easy for Bannon.
Just to go back on that last play with Bryce, I think Rocco just needs to stay in that drops coverage a little bit longer. Even if Saar does pop, shooting 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, it might be a scout of, hey, just let him shoot. You'll live with 1, maybe 2, but can't let this man get going.
That time for Cotton. Rebound for Zakarski. His 4th of the night. Smith in transition.
And that is an elite pass by Sobey down the right wing. Knew he had Smith and he was going to be open, but to get the ball to him and also recognise he's the hot guy. Have tunnel vision for him at the moment, getting the ball and try and milk that, how he's going for this next period of time.
Sobey got Usher up in the air. Dumps it into the corner for Isaac White.
I think it was a foul called on the drive earlier on.
I like this though from Sobey. Even though he's not scoring, he's being aggressive. He's trying to find open guys. So just got to keep going like that. Hopefully we see him get, ticking the scoreboard a little bit open right now.
And I agree, because there's been times where you have this game and he'll try and shoot his way through it. We saw the cross-court pass in transition. He's been patient and trying to help in other ways.
Here is Sobey. Catch and shoot, that rattles out. He's just having one of those nights. 1 of 8 now from the field. He was 1 of 8 from outside last weekend.
But that was a set play for Sobey, and that's the difference. They bring him through one side and then they bring him off back to the same side off a stagger screen. So that was a designated call to get him a shot.
He inbounded the ball, cutting baseline, set that flex screen for Smith. He could have had that shot off the stagger. They continued on the continuation. Sobey had a great shot. And again, the next ones he's going to shoot, he's going to shoot, and he's going to shoot.
Cotton goes 1 of 2. He's 91% coming into tonight. From the free throw line. And scores are level. Last minute of the 3rd term. Sobey head down to the basket.
There he is, Drew. What did I say?
And that was another good decision. He spread the floor and with the left hand gets to the cup.
Hopefully that gets him going now.
Help comes for Cotton. Threw it upstairs for Saar. He's fouled. DJ Mitchell, here's the Harvey Norman replay.
Could have been an N1 there, but great attack by Sobey, great finish, and as I said, hopefully it gets him going. It brings the energy from the Nissan Arena, and they can keep rolling.
French next up. Alex Saar, when the Athletic issued their mock draft earlier this week. Alex Saar, according to Sam Vicini, is the #1 prospect for next season's NBA draft.
It's incredible. I think we had 4 or 5 next stars in that top 60. So it's great what the league and Leo Santa Maria have done, and bringing in this next star program. And each year just gets better and better, and we see elite talent, not just from the United States, but we see from internationally, especially with Alex Saar.
Your next star, Trenton Flowers, played a nice role in the second half last night.
Yeah, he did. I think he had a great week of practice. He's slowly learning. He's still only 18 years old. Still acts like a kid at times, but we let him slide because that's just who he is. He's goofy and he's funny, and that's just what we want him to be. But again, he's learning. He wants to learn. He wants to watch film with CJ Bruton. He's asking questions from the veteran guys. So it's good to see him. There he is, Sobey again.
Sobey scores and has some momentum to take into the final quarter. Harris from halfway. It's the Bullets who have a 3-point lead. They're 3-2 on their home floor this season, and they lead 53-50 at Nissan Arena. This is Saturday Night Hoops. Great to have your company for Saturday Night Hoops at Nissan Arena. The Brisbane Bullets lead 53-50 over the Perth Wildcats. Chris Smith, still the leading scorer in the game, has 18 points on 8 of 11. Bryce Cotton has 16 for the Perth Wildcats and 10 points for Michael Harris. And both teams have had their troubles shooting the three ball tonight. 4 of 17 for the Bullets, 4 of 21 for the Perth Wildcats. Of course, the threes all season long. Brought to you by our great friends at Mitsubishi. You can see the red foam hands there at the front of the camera. They'll be with us all season long, which is fantastic. Great supporters of Australian basketball once again.
My word, they are.
You like yours?
If you have the opportunity and you're in the market, go check out the Outlander. It is driving bliss.
You've got the plug now, Drew?
Huh?
You've got the plug for us?
It's just a quality vehicle. There's no plug required. It's just does some exceptionally good driving and safe. Oh.
It was Sobey from a long way out. I was under the understanding that there was one car to sort of work its way around the commentary group, DJ, so we could all get a try. It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Drew is too big time. He shares cars like he shares these lollies.
That's a charge. I think this is going to be an offensive foul.
Jordan Usher just has not been able to get himself going tonight. 4 points. He's -5. That's his third foul.
And that was just a sense of trying to inject yourself into the game when it was a little rushed. And he gets the turnover because of it.
I think sometimes he plays a little bit too fast. I think he needs to just let the game come to him, get an easy bucket or get to the free throw line, just see one go in or make a defensive play. That's why I think they brought him in as a defensive presence. And I mean, you saw the first game, he came out firing 35 points. And I think he just needs to get back to doing the little things to get himself going.
Both teams around a similar clip. Perth 6-5 for the season. Brisbane 5-6. Last game for both before the FIBA break.
That's the rule. 2.
Keanu Pinder just picked up his 4th foul, so he'll be going to the bench, and we see the next star come back in.
It's a big responsibility now for Saar of what he's got to do, of protecting the paint, getting on the boards.
They had to turn to Alex Saar in the overtime game against Melbourne, Drew, on Melbourne Cup Eve that we were there for, and he paid them back 20 points, 17 I should say, in that game. Good chance for him again tonight.
Bryce Cotton lost a...
Those fresh kicks, the John Morants.
Lost a shoe. He's had to do some heavy lifting here because Ty Webster usually handles a fair chunk of the ball handling responsibilities, and Bryce can play off the ball a little more. But Ty's had a tough night. He's 0 of 7 from the field and only played the 18 minutes as well.
And Andrew, it's a weird one though, right? Because now with Pinder in foul trouble and Ty Webster struggling, it's almost sometimes you don't actually want Bryce to try and take it all upon himself if you're the Bullets, because he might go off and beat you.
That's right. It's almost like we don't want those fouls because we don't want them sitting on the bench. As Bannon knocks down the 3-ball, feet set. That's a good-looking stroke. And there's a tee as well.
Who just got teed up?
I'm not sure.
And it's on the Perth Wildcats.
Technical foul on
Tech
JR.
foul for saying he never left the keyway. That's my words to him for a tech foul. Never left the keyway.
Well, what I think it is, though, John, is it's an accumulation.
That's one way of saying it. Yeah.
That has built up where something that in isolation you wouldn't have got a tech for, but it's on the back of
the constant.
The constant that, okay.
Preceded that comment, I don't know how he interpreted. I can't give you an answer. I can listen to you. Can't leave the keyway. Like, come on, Michael, let's...
It's also not necessarily about what you say, it's sometimes the way you say it.
How you say it.
Yep. 58-52. Here's Usher, puts the ball on the floor. Challenge from Sobey.
Great defense by Sobey.
And as Derek mentioned, when you look at this lineup on the floor, if it's not Bryce, then it's probably going to have to be Usher. Now, it hasn't been Usher's night, but Bryce needs a running mate right now. He's got the 18, and it's Hiram Harris is the next best scorer with the 10. So Usher's the one that you'd be expecting with his experience and where he's at, but he's another one that's not having a good night. 1 of 7 now from the field.
I think the one guy they're missing, and he's out tonight with an ankle injury and has played minimal minutes, is Corey Webster. You know, he's a walking bucket, and I think just 1 or 2 creative possessions from him could change the game too. So he's being missed in this game as well.
Does that surprise you, DJ? I mean, coaches make moves for different reasons. Does it surprise you that Corey Webster's fallen out of the rotation?
Again, I'm not the coach of Perth. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, so it is a bit surprising. I think he's proven in this league that he is a bucket. He's won championships. He's got that experience. So even if he comes in 5-10 minute bursts just throughout the whole game, you can change the dynamic. So again, I'm not the coach, so I can't really comment on it, but they could use him right now just to get going a little bit.
As you say, not playing tonight with an ankle issue. Sobey. Wagstaff giving him enough room to fire. And the Bullets get a second look at things. This time Sobey puts the ball on the floor. He draws contact from Wagstaff.
That's a great job by Sobey. Obviously, he doesn't want to settle again, get yourself to the free throw line, get 2 easy ones, and we need Sobey to get going here, I think. So he's got 7 points, 3 of 11 from the field, all 5 from the 3. So hopefully this gives him some momentum, Jack.
Well, he got himself at the last minute or so of the third when he got to the basket a couple of times on Henshaw. And these are always helpful when you're looking to get that scoreboard ticking over, see a couple of free throws go in. That can do wonders for the confidence.
He's accumulating 9 points, 3 of 11 from the field, but he certainly had a few friends shooting the ball tonight. Usher ran out of ideas and ran out of space in the end. Sobey upstairs. 8-point lead for the Brisbane Bullets. Timeout Perth. The home team making a run.
But what a spurt. They've been able to wear them down, and you just feel like the damn walls are breaking for the Perth Wildcats on the defensive end. And offensively right now, the Wildcats, they're struggling to find answers.
Yeah, I think, you see Usher on that play is driving. You either got to go put your head down and go try a dunk and draw a foul, not just jump in the air, 180, thinking, you're going to pass, so you can't just jump and pass. And yeah, you see now, turnover, steal, dunk by Sobey, timeout.
It is, and in a night where it's so hard to get it going from the field, those easy transition baskets, they're worth their weight in gold because scoring is so difficult. But gee whiz, the Brisbane Bullets have really done a great job of cranking up the defense and causing some problems for the Wildcats.
62-54 at Nissan Arena, the Harvey Norman replay. I think Nathan Sobey really enjoyed this one.
He definitely did. As you said, Drew, that little layup at the end of the third, couple of free throws, a nice dunk. Now you energize the crowd. Now you get everyone going.
Derek Rucker, are we seeing a swing in momentum here?
We have, and Jack, we also saw the Bullets have a nice lead last Sunday in Sydney. So, Drewy, my question to you is, what number is safe here for the Bullets, knowing that they've had some fourth-quarter implosions over the past couple of weeks?
Well, they have. I guess the difference between this one is that scoring is a premium, and right now, the Perth Wildcats, they can't find the bucket. They've only scored 4 points in this quarter, and they're having all sorts of problems on the offensive end. So this 8-point lead that they've got is probably a little bit more valuable than 8 points just because of the scoring rate that's here. But you're right, and they would have had some sleepless nights of that loss against the Sydney Kings, and to have the opportunity to be put in a situation where you can right the wrongs. I'm sure they went back, looked at the tape, figured out what they did wrong, and primarily what they did wrong against the Sydney Kings is a couple of horrific turnovers in the last 5 minutes, and taking care of the ball, getting through some sets, and getting quality shots.
They gave up the last 15 points of the game last Sunday against Sydney, Brisbane. And they had a very winnable one against Tasmania the week prior as well. They lost their last two against two of the better teams in the competition. Shot clock at 3. McDaniel has to shoot.
3 seconds.
Now that's where that technical foul might have come in handy for John Riley, because he was complaining about the 3 seconds, and wow, a minute and a half later,
what do you know?
They just coincidentally find a 3-second call.
It's funny how that happens. Solby called Blue 20 for a cheap one. That's his second. On the floor right now, Mitch Norton, Aaron Baines, Josh Bannon, Nathan Sobey, Sam McDaniel sits down. Chris Smith comes back in. The Wildcats, Christian Doolittle, Jordan Usher, Bryce Cotton, Alex Saar, and Jesse Wagstaff. Hands from Baines.
Great pass by Cotton.
Just got to handle it. That would have been a dunk.
I think the young fella was thinking dunk and was in the action of dunk before he actually
caught the ball.
Caught the ball.
Replay centre, was that quick enough, please?
Justin Schuller. Let's have a look at this.
Hang on. Replay centre, was he quick enough?
They're just checking whether he was actually quick enough to call for the challenge, but I would have thought that if the ball
if it hasn't been given
inbound,
to the player.
So they're going to challenge it.
They've accepted the challenge. Snooze timeout. Challenging out of bounds.
Oh, that'll be Brisbane ball.
It is. Now, you could argue that there is a foul there by Baines grabbing the arm of Saar. So he swipes at it, then he grabs the arm. So that's not reviewable, though.
That you can't challenge that.
So
that's right. Yep.
Even though it probably a foul.
After review, the coach's challenge is successful. The call on the floor is overturned. We'll restart with blue ball from the baseline.
But he followed through and grabbed him almost on the forearm there and just pulled the arm away. So it probably should have been a foul.
I don't think you can get the call there if the ball's already out of bounds. So
no, you can't. You can only, you're challenging the actual call. You can't look at it and see, well, there was another infraction and say, well, we'll take that over the actual call.
I feel like he's got too many wrong this season, Justin Schuller, when it comes to the review.
He's got a good man on the trigger behind him.
It's very important.
One of the most high-pressure jobs in the competition.
You get that wrong, you better update your LinkedIn profile. From Sobey. 62-56. Doolittle comes hard on Sobey. Hard landing for both. Perth will be back on the line. Shooting free throws 24 and 25 for the game.
It's going to be a grind.
It's been a grind of a game, that's for sure. You know, we've seen scores like this at halftime throughout the year, but now we're seeing the defense, locking up, and how's the offense going to, find ways to score?
Top 10 in the competition in rebounding statistics, Christian Doolittle.
Good free throw shooter as well so far this season, almost 86%.
A bit of time playing in Puerto Rico, won a couple of championships there. Ever thought about sort of spreading your wings a bit, DJ?
I'm thinking about it. Maybe this off-season we'll see what I have planned, and I'm just going to take it game by game in the NBL. You know, I'm happy to be back and playing in a very competitive league. And you know, if my off-season says hey, go to Puerto Rico and enjoy 2 or 3 games out there a week and get some sun and
make some money,
stay humble, Drewy. That's all right. Get a nice tan and.
How about you, Drew? That sounds like a done deal for my ears. Cannon again.
I like it. The young fella is playing with a lot of confidence, Drewy.
There's no hesitation. He caught it. He knew from the time that he received it. He'd already assessed where the defense is at. He'd already made a couple of 3 steps straight into it and knocked it down.
He has 15 points.
You talked about him playing at Blackburn. Blackburn love their lefties. Their lefty bigs down there. There's been a lot through the Vic State. I've played with 2 of them. You got Josh Bannon. He's playing with a lot of confidence, that's for sure. No hesitation whatsoever.
There it is. You saw Jesse Wagstaff helping out, and particularly when you've already seen a couple go through, you feel like you've got enough in the bank that you got every right to take it, and it's a good look and follow through and instructage. We happy with that?
Yeah, I like it. You know, I like the confidence. There was no thinking, do I want to shoot it, do I not want to shoot it? It's just catch, shoot, bang. Is he leading the race for that Next Gen Award or whatever it's called now?
Be a contender, Josh Bannon for sure. Definite contender. Doolittle makes the second. It's one of those guys that every game we see of Josh Bannon, he looks more and more comfortable. Slower starts of the year, obviously, Deej, because of a knee injury.
Again, and being a rookie, but I think he's just professional overall. And
Chris Smith is having a night.
And they do. Justin Schuler has done an outstanding job on dead ball plays, setting something up for his shooters. Shooters, backdoor cuts. He's got some nice sets that he's put in place to put guys in positions where they can perform to their best.
100%, I can definitely vouch for that. He's drawn up a few plays for myself and a few other shooters, you know, in the next generation when we were in the Oceania tournament. So, you know, good to see, you know, Justin Schuler get his chance as an NBL coach. Now, just Brisbane needs to, you know, execute and, you know, not blow this lead.
Nice pass. Went fine for Keanu Pinder. Hammers at home and puts the Wildcats back within 7.
It's very much alive. They're in touch distance here, and we just saw in the game before the Tassie Jack Jump is in almost a similar situation, same stage of the game, and we're able to pull off an overtime win.
Oh, misses from underneath. Quickly to the other end, and he'll be shooting free throws.
What do you reckon Bryce is saying there to Hiram Harris?
Screen, please. Please screen.
I don't know if you saw last possession, Bryce was backdoor wide open for a pass. I think that's what frustrated him.
And that's because you only get a small window, because the defense is not going to fall asleep on Bryce Cotton, or very, very rarely. And you just got to catch him with it, where the defense is slightly off balance. You run that back cut, and when you don't get it, it can be frustrating.
Bryce is missing free throws.
It's been a fascinating round. You know, bank shots, missed free throws, great games.
Melbourne and Sydney to come tomorrow. Before that, New Zealand and Illawarra to finish off before the fever break.
You know, a great doubleheader of Sunday hoops coming up, that's for sure.
Hiram Harris makes it a 4-point game.
As Derek was mentioning, they have looked a little tentative and nervous trying to close out games, illustrated with that loss last week to the Sydney Kings. And this doesn't look all that encouraging.
He's very uncomfortable right now, Josh Bannon.
Is that one of the orchestras, or is it just got an issue with the thighs?
We'll have to have a look at the replay with thanks to Harvey Norman.
Because, ooh,
that may be a knee where you don't want a knee.
well, the good thing about that is usually you can recover pretty quickly. It'll bring a tear to your eye, but it's not one that, whereas if you get a knee to the thigh or a corky, it can be real damage, but that looks like it's straight in the orchestra stalls.
Yeah,
We've got issues.
Derek Rucker.
Yeah, well, Josh Banner just winked at me and gave me a little smile. I'm not sure if that's related to the injury in any way. I hope not. Look here, the Bullets, they've really got to consolidate here and play with purpose, continue to do what they're doing defensively, but they cannot, Drew, and I repeat, they cannot turn the ball over, especially live ball turnovers where Perth can capitalize immediately. This is going to be a very intriguing final 3:22.
That just looks uncomfortable.
It is, and Derek, Mitch Norton, you know, we don't want to, well, I guess we are singling someone out. He had a couple of horrific ones in 3 minutes that he would want to forget against the Sydney Kings, and already he's one that you just have made the change and subbed him out.
Roll down to the last 3 minutes. A 4-point game at a sold-out Nissan Arena. Sobey with a hand in the face.
Big shot.
And that's what you need your leaders to do, and that's what Sobey is. Come in, simple on-ball screen, and works his way to the free throw line. Almost a little too easy that time.
Christian Doolittle, it's tough. That's really tough.
2.5 minutes, game very interesting, Drewy.
Oh, it is, and Doolittle's up to 19 points.
He just looks so patient. He looks so in amongst all the chaos. He's the calm.
He's just playing at a comfortable pace. You know, he's looking much more relaxed. Feel like he's found the rhythm.
Sobey can't score.
Do we see this game going overtime?
Well, it'll be back-to-back overtime games.
Why not? Up at 70.
Why not, Drew? It's been a great night of basketball. Let's keep it rolling.
It's been an unbelievable week. Had a couple of cracking games last Sunday. Your game last night. And now, this is the second.
16-8 run here for Perth. Baines,
pass.
Beautiful pass for Bannon.
Ain't nothing wrong with him, Drewy.
Delay of game. Delay of game on Bannon. Stop, come in.
That was good. They made the adjustment. They send the double team. See Bryce coming from the weak side. Ooh, Usher, he went away with his man. See, Usher, he needed to stop just as he's going and stay on that split line to be there for the help. When you're going to set the double team, you've just got to rely on closing out on the weak side, but he stayed locked in.
It's Christian Doolittle, tough turnaround jumper.
And he's hype, man. Look at him.
We're going down to the wire. It's Sobey's turn and Brisbane's turn offensively for 3. It's long. Offensive rebound by Bannon. The Bullets can reset. Shot clock at 7. It's been one hell of a night for Chris Smith, and it continues.
It's always going to be tough for Bryce. Guarding a taller player, just got to his spot in the mid-range.
He's up to 23 points, 10 of 14 from the field. Playing really, really well.
Doolittle trying to thread the eye of the needle. That'll be a foul, and Brisbane will be shooting, Perth, I should say, will be shooting free throws again.
Good weak side actions. Baines was there to help and just committed the foul. Positionally he was right, but just couldn't keep his hands out.
Derek Rucker.
Andrew, given Harris makes 2 here, would you be willing to press, knowing that Brisbane struggled down the stretch, just to throw a little something at him? Just a quick token to see if you can make something happen disruptive and then get out of it.
Nah, that wouldn't be my call, because I think that they're showing a little nervousness. So if you press, they get it over the top of the press. You run the risk of that easy too. So I think just trying to lock them down in the half court and see if they'll give you a turnover. Just play good, solid defense.
Harris holds his nerve and makes both. A 3-point game earlier tonight. Scores level with less than a minute remaining in the second of our Saturday night doubleheaders. Harrison's got a problem. Pinder picked his pocket.
It's crowded. Bad area for him to catch it on that occasion. Oh my goodness. It's going to be on Mitch Norton. Keanu Pinder going up for...
Hold on Mitch Norton. Yes, I agree. Yep, same.
Going up for...
Blue 8.
And that's going to be 2.
-2.
It will be.
Now, this is where it's been a bit up and down for Pinder, though, from the free throw line. Have a look at the replay. See Mitch Norton there just grabbing the arm, and that's a good call. Spot on call.
So, Brisbane are challenging this call.
Well, what was the call a hold?
The call was a hold on Mitch Norton.
Well, then they're going to lose.
It's going to get clarity up. I heard Justin Schuller say that they think it was a push rather than a hold.
No, right. Well, that's the big question. If it was called a hold, that is as clear as a hold you'll ever want to see.
After review, the coaching challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. The Blue 8 resume a 2 shot.
Might be our quickest review of the year.
Well, if that is right, if Justin Schuller was thinking, well, they've called a push, well, then he would have won it, but they didn't call that. And that's where I think some further modifications of those rules can come into play. When you see something in the same action that the officials called it one way, but there has been still a clear foul.
In that same action?
In the same action.
Yep.
Not something off the ball or not something, but in that same action, then, you know, it's worth looking at. I think the NBA do that a little bit more, where they are prepared to say, well, we called this. That wasn't the case, but in that same action, this happened, so they're happy to ultimately get the call right.
Keanu Pinder, a 66% free throw shooter for the season. Has had 2 down games in a row. Big test of his confidence.
Oh, and he's giving the crowd the shush.
No, I'm not doing that when you're 60. What is he, 66, did you say, Jack?
Yes, sir.
That's the confidence, though, Drew. Tell me you've never done that before.
Well, and maybe that's what just builds him up. Takes a bit of pressure off him. The shush worked.
The Bullets trail by 2. They've led for a lot of the night. And again, having some issues putting teams away in the fourth quarter. Bannon out for Smith for the lead. It's short. Perth in possession now. Brisbane have to foul, and the league's best player walks to the other end to shoot free throws.
He had more time. There was still a bit of time left on the shot clock. It was a little rushed. And you didn't need a 3. At home, going into overtime at home, if you're the away team, I get it. Go for the win. But when you're the home team...
I reckon you try to get something at the rim.
Yeah.
You know, Perth's got 4 fouls. You know, challenge the refs to make a call.
Derek Rucker.
Oh, well, guys, Andrew, I thought they did as Cotton knocks down the first one. But that is an old axiom that's decades old, where you, at home you go for the tie. I thought they did penetrate and look for it. It just happened that on the kickouts.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Cotton misses.
And he
but
gets his
got it
own
back.
rebound.
Wow.
Even when he misses, he makes up for it.
No, you're right, Derek, they did, but I thought, now I might have trying to see it off the screen, I thought there was still more time left than for Smith to go again. Now, need to go through it, but Bryce Cotton's missed 3 free throws in this game. A 90% free throw shooter.
He takes care of that one.
And that...
Joy is game over.
That's game over. Wow. Again, Brisbane unable to close out when they put themselves in highly winnable situations.
After conceding the last 15 of the game on Sunday against Sydney, they've just conceded a 26 run.
Wow.
That hurts.
It does, and it's back-to-back games. So, with the fever break, I think this one will sting a little bit more because you just want to go to practice, then back around, next week for another game. But you don't have that now. You got to wait 2 weeks to the next game, and it'll just, itch up you to get out there and, make up for it. So, yeah, it's a tough one, especially the last 2 games for the Bullets.
Where has it gone wrong for them again today?
Execution. Execution in the fourth quarter. They become a little stagnant, a bit hesitant. They start to play mind games with themselves. Well, that's how it looks anyway. And just identifying what your priorities in those circumstances and what actions you want to get to. But this is becoming more than just an accident when you see it. And it's an area that they're going to have a look at the tape, go through, and try and figure it out.
They need the quickest of buckets here, Brisbane, if they are any chance whatsoever. Isaac White with a late one. But the ghosts of the fourth quarter come back to haunt the Bullets again. 3 winnable games in a row that they have now dropped. Meanwhile, the Perth Wildcats are well and truly back in the hunt. That's 5 games on the bounce. They win it by 3.
And in the locker room after this one, I'd be astounded if they're not highlighting the work of Christian Doolittle. I thought he was big. Sure, Bryce Cotton down the stretch with that big 3 with the 25. He deserves his accolades, but Hiram Harris with the 14 and Christian Doolittle with the 21. They were the difference.
Bryce Cotton, our Foot Locker player of the game. Disappointment for the Brisbane Bullets. Just total elation for the Perth Wildcats. It was hard work. They were made to earn it. A little wave from Ty Webster. And the Wildcats hit the fever break in fantastic shape. Winners tonight, 79-76 at Nissan Arena. We're back to wrap it up after this.
Post-game interview with Susie is coming up very shortly.
Perth Wildcats win 4 in a row for the first time since last season, but they had to do it the hard way. Winners tonight 79-76 over the Brisbane Bullets at Nissan Arena. That was tough. They were some very, very important buckets late in the game from Perth.
Yeah, definitely started off slow, but when you've got this man on your team, it becomes easy because he's experienced it all. But Bryce Cotton came out and did what he had to do, so he's our footlocker player of the game.
Yeah, it was a grind, and when it's grinding, you need your best players to step up, and he did. He was exceptional down the stretch. Missed a couple of free throws, which I'm sure he's not going to be all that happy about, but it doesn't matter when you get the win.
Earlier tonight as well, a thriller. We've been treated for 2 really close games. Go back to the first game, Tasmania versus Cairns, DJ. Jack McVeigh, ice in his veins.
Yeah, we were watching this in the back, and Jack's worked so hard, and he's always like that positive energy guy, and he definitely deserves this bonus. So, yeah, great game by the Jack Jumpers, and let Jack McVeigh celebrate.
I think he was pretty happy with that one as well, Jack McVeigh. We're not done yet, of course. We've got some big games coming up tomorrow to finish off this round, and then it's the FIBA break after that. New Zealand versus Illawarra is the first game, and then Melbourne and Sydney at John Cain Arena. There are 10 tickets left for that game tomorrow afternoon. Just 10? Maybe 9 by the time we finish this sentence. DJ, you were fantastic. Thank you for being with us.
Well done, rookie.
Andrew Gaze, well done. Eric Rucker, great work. Thanks for being with us tonight. It is the Wildcats. Winners by 3. We'll see you tomorrow here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.